Hey there, folks. This is probably the worst camera setup I have ever done. It's probably going to move a lot. We'll have to see. Okay. So what we're working on here is mini Hrmph. That's Hrmph by Heaven and Earth Designs. Original artwork is by, who's it by? I can't remember. Suzanne Gyseman, is that right? I have a lot of full coverage pieces and I can't quite always remember the original artists' names. Anyway, it is also almost 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't usually stay up this late cross-stitching, although it's not unusual for me to stay up this late. I'm just not usually cross-stitching. And yes, it is late, not early. For me, I don't know. I did take a nap. Uh-oh. Did I mess up? Yep, I didn't have to start that thread because look, there's one parked there already. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to come down here and do this one down here. It doesn't happen very often, but sometimes it does. If I had just looked, because I did have it marked as parked, however, I did not park it in the uppermost stitch, so I didn't see it. Didn't even think to look. And that's it for it in this section. So I'm going to go ahead and do these ones here and then cut the other one after I did that stitch. That way I'm not wasting the time and effort it took me to thread that needle. So anyway, this is a Heaven and Earth design. Doing this on 25 count, 1/1 full cross. I just wanted to pop in and I guess do a stitch with me because apparently I'm feeling very chatty in my head, which happens, and also probably another reason why I'm up at 4 a.m. because when my head is chatty, I can't sleep. So I thought, if I'm talking to myself in my head, I might as well turn the camera on and talk to somebody that might listen. Is that weird? I feel like I said that out loud and now that seems very weird. It's probably odd behavior. I might be I'm not really too concerned with it because I've been that way my whole life, really. I would be in the kitchen playing with Play-Doh or something when I was very young, and I would be like doing like a cooking show in my head. I would be pretending that I was doing a cooking show and explaining to people how to make Play-Doh and what to do with it. Not like name brand Play-Doh. This is like the salt and flour Play-Doh. We called it Play-Doh, even though I think Play-Doh is a trademark name. Oh, I loved making Play-Doh. I should do that. I wonder if there's like a way to make it so it's more permanent. I should look that up. So, let's talk about my methods here. That might be interesting. If you're watching this, I'm assuming that you like cross stitch, even though I have rather an eclectic range of videos on my channel. I'm going to assume that you like cross stitch if you're watching this. Anyway, so you can see I am parking. I'm going line by line, sort of. It's more of a, right now what I'm doing anyway is if there's a stitch already done above it, then I can do it. So basically if it's underneath an already completed stitch, I will put it in, and if it's not, then I'll park it. And the reason I do that is because it really helps with the neatness of the stitches. And I can tell the difference. I don't know if you can, but I can. Here I was doing cross country, and here I did all of the method I just said, where if it's underneath a stitch that's already been completed, I go ahead and put it in. Now you can see I have done lots of cross country. That sort of opens my options as far as if it's a completed stitch or not. But yes. I change my method of cross stitch daily. I mean, it really depends on my mood, and I don't feel like on any given piece I have to do anything a certain way. If I want to change, and if I want to work on that piece, guess what? I'm going to change. I'm going to work on that piece. Sometimes I do have to do a little dance here with the other parked threads, but that's alright. Doesn't bother me. So I'm 58.5% complete, according to Pattern Keeper. Which I am amazed at. When I picked this up, I was 52% complete. And I thought that I would just probably get maybe 2% done and I'd be tired of this again. But I made it quite a bit further and I'm very pleased, because I really would like to finish this piece this year. And it's not always fun. This piece is pretty hard. There's a lot of confetti, a lot of colors that look very much the same. And this fabric that I'm using seems a little bit tighter, but that, again, it might be just the confetti, because when you have lots of colors that are the same, that are all right next to each other, it gets a little tough. And that's not always fun. So, one fun thing that I like to do to try and motivate me a little bit is I figured out how long it would take me to complete it if I did 100 stitches a day, because I thought if I could do 100 stitches a day. That's like an hour, right? I usually have an hour that I can devote to stitching, at least. Sometimes it happens at 4 a.m., but you know. So I figured that out, and it was like 300 days at that point. So I thought, if I keep at this and I do more than 100 stitches a day, and I'll keep doing that math to figure out how many days it would take at 100 stitches a day, I will be able to watch that number of how many days it would take to complete it shrink. And I find that very motivating. I think I'm at like 295, so that's not right. I have less than that. I'm not sure. I write it down, but that doesn't mean that I remember in my head. It means I wrote it down. Oops, that's not the right spot to park it. See, it's important. It's important to park in the right spot. So this is the last stitch I did. I'm going to undo this last leg. Rethread my needle. Finish the stitch again. And then park in the right spot. Up here. There we go. So today I've done 154. It took more than an hour. It took more than an hour and 50 minutes or whatever, because there's a lot of confetti. So I'm going to watch this video back and see if it's at all bearable to watch, and if it is, I'll upload it. I've realized recently that it's not so much the quality of the video, although that's nice. It has a lot more to do with the content of said video and the person putting it out. You know, sometimes I subscribe to somebody, just, you know, a channel, just because I like the person, the way their attitude, you know, and their style. And sometimes I do it for the content. Sometimes I subscribe just because I want to learn more about whatever they're doing. So sometimes these videos that I'm watching are not great. And I think that, you know, quality-wise, you know, like resolution and maybe editing's not wonderful, you know, that sort of thing. And I think that that's less important than I have always attributed it to my own stuff. You know, I have tried to put up pretty good videos, and I feel like I've always failed. So it's very discouraging to feel like you fail all the time. So that's why it goes like months and months and months before I put on more videos. So obviously I've somehow started doing cross country. I think I'm doing this now because I ran out of stitches in this column. I was working out this color, and I really don't want to put this little bit back on a bobbin. So I'm just going to go until the thread runs out. It won't matter too much. There's a lot of this color in this row, and I'm just going to go up. In fact, what I should do is flip this over and make sure all my tails here are laying in the right direction. So that when I'm traveling up here, it'll sew them down. So I'm not using my stand today. It might have been better to use the stand if I was going to film, but I can't really use it right now because it's a combination of factors, really. My left shoulder hurts, and my left shoulder and my right wrist, and it's a couple different injuries. Nothing too crazy, but it has made it so that it is difficult to use the stand. It sort of aggravates them, which is sad because I like using the stand an awful lot. I got it because I like stitching two-handed like this, and that's a little bit difficult sometimes without a stand, but I'm getting the hang of it. Alright, coming up on the other thread here, that's good. Okay, so sometimes I end with a pin stitch. That is possible on 25 count 1/1. It's not easy, but it's possible. But I think I'm just going to leave it in since I've got all this going on here. I might as well just leave it in. So back to confetti. That was a nice break. I think I'm going to quit here. My camera likes to make a new file after 20 minutes. And if I'm talking the whole time, it's kind of obvious because it skips a word here or there. So I think that I will turn the camera off, and I would like to thank you for sticking with me. If you have, that's crazy to me that you watched this whole thing. Please let me know if you did, if you like this video, because that's stuff I need to know so I can make more, or not. So thanks for watching.